Hey there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another fun-filled, exciting episode of Pro Wrestling Tonight. I am your host, John Bullard, and with us in the studio today, the mercenary Garrisaon Creed. War veteran, professional wrestler who's traveled all across this great lands of America, and he's coming here on October 3rd to Michigan City, Indiana for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling Saturday Night Grapple Masters. Before Garrisaon is with us here in the studio, we're going to take a look at this highlight video of Garrisaon Creed in action. Ladies and gentlemen, what a highlight reel that is, and with us now in studio, the man known as the mercenary Garrisaon Creed. Garrisaon, thank you for being with us here in the studio today, and for the fans at home that are going to get the chance to watch you both on television and also here live on October 3rd, tell us how you got started in the professional wrestling business.
Well, just like anybody else, John, you grow up being a fan. I remember distinctly watching WrestleMania 3, seeing the famous Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant body slam heard around the world. But what really caught my attention was the start of the Monday Night Wars, the very first WCW Nitro. And I'm not talking about the Hogans or the Savages, Lex Luger's surprise appearance. I'm talking about guys like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho. At the time, I didn't know who he was. Jushin Thunder Liger, Rey Mysterio, Psychosis. We're talking about these solid mid-card guys coming on in, having a huge influence on the world and the business, and showing them how, hey, you don't have to be 6'9", 315 pounds to make this work. You can have, you have the skill set of a Dean Malenko and amaze a crowd. So that's what got me hooked. But just like any other child who realizes they're not going to be the star quarterback to their favorite football team, you kind of stop daydreaming and focus on the real life. So upon graduating high school, I went and joined the service. Signed up for the Army, was infantry, did combat operations around the world. Got out with that, came out, got myself a degree, got myself a big boy job, house, white picket fence, the whole thing.
Of course.
Not my thing. Not my deal. I'm a little bit more action-packed than that. So when I found out that there was a trainer actually about within 8 miles of where I lived, I lived there for 9 years.
Yeah.
Well, why the hell am I not there? So got his name, found out his number, gave him a call, and that Sunday I began my training.
And what was the training regimen like? I know different wrestling schools at times they do things a little different. The new schools are more focused on cardio, where the old schools, like myself, when I originally broke into business back in 2001, it was almost like going to a military boot camp. where you had to do push-ups. You're constantly running around the building. You're in a sweat box.
Right, but yeah, I mean, no, you even gotta consider, joining the military in 2003 versus joining the military in the 1970s or 80s are two completely different animals
Different
there
worlds,
too.
of course.
So my training, I'd like to compare to starting to train in the 1970s when they didn't even let you know how things operated yet.
Okay.
So I went on in and treated it much like I did basic training. Hey, I'm going to embrace the suck and do what's going to be asked of me. While my trainer, his main goal was to make me quit. And so I went on in, and after week after week after week, realizing, hey, this guy's not quitting. Now we'll teach him how to work.
Yeah.
So it was very physical, very demanding, very exhausting. Not just, it was mentally, you got the physical exhaustion. Your cardio is, forced to be the best that it is. Your body is being bludgeoned and, pushed to that limit to prove that you are hard and that you will last in this business.
So when did you start having your first bouts? When you graduated from training, or was it during your time you're still?
I was still training. Technically I'm still training. I don't consider myself fully trained yet. But I started my matches in about 6 months. My first official match was against Women of Honor, Stacy Shadows.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of her. She's very talented.
Yes, and one of the hardest hitters in the business. I don't care about gender. She will knock your block off.
Yeah, absolutely. So during this time, you were getting yourself prepared for the in-ring battles. You were traveling a little bit more. I know you're based out of Wisconsin, but you've kind of seen a little bit more of the countryside as late. I remember
based out of Wisconsin, yes. But there was probably a good stretch in 2017 that I called Winnipeg my home promotion.
Yeah.
Canadian Wrestling's Elite, ran by Danny Duggan. Then I expanded downwards into Minnesota. Midwest All-Star Wrestling became a home. So did Steel Domain Wrestling. American Wrestling Federation for a while as well. I got picked up by Minnesota Independent Wrestling, and just spread on outwards. Traveling weekly, 2, 3, 4 shows a week, just doing what I do.
No. When you was working for Canadian Wrestling Elite, what was those tours like going through Manitoba? Because for the people at home in the Midwest, we get snow, but there's different from Midwest snow and Manitoba brutal winter snow.
And now Canadian Wrestling's Elite, yes, is based on Manitoba, but we're talking Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan, British.
Yeah.
They cover all
of
Western Canada. To give you an example of how it is, my first tour started in December. I got there, went to go grab a ring post to help set up. Didn't realize it was negative 40 degrees outside. Grabbed this ring post with my bare hands, and I had to go a week with frostburn on my hands, not realizing it right off the bat.
Wow.
And that's still working.
That's like, hey kid, you want to be a wrestler? There you go.
Go pick up that heavy pole.
Pick up that heavy pole. Wow, it's negative 40. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Builds character.
Oh, yeah. And it did. I do acclimate a lot of my training to these tours up in Canadian Wrestling's Elite. They connected me with Tony Kazina, who is now the head trainer of the Fale Dojo over in New Zealand.
Yeah, they helped train a lot of guys from New Japan.
Yes, a lot of his students go directly to the Young Lions program. So I have his stamp of approval. I've traveled with him, ate with him, shot the shit with him, and got a lot of endurance training with him.
We cursed on TV. No. Yeah, we're fine. But that's one thing we had to watch out as far as language, but we're fine. So outside of the tours in Canada, going through Manitoba, Saskatchewan, what city in that realm where you enjoyed yourself the most? I know a lot of people talk about Winnipeg's a really cool place to go see, but there's some other really neat little towns in Canada.
Oh, there are. Winnipeg is a melting pot of different cultures. And just from my own worldly travels, living in South Korea and visiting Thailand Ireland and Germany and Iraq, Kuwait during my traveling, I like to try the different local flavors. Definitely a big foodie.
Yeah.
So going up to Winnipeg and trying, like an Ethiopian buffet, which I didn't think it was a thing that existed.
Yeah.
It was great and a great experience for me up there, and just trying just the different delicacies that are there. I mean, you can go down the street and try 10 different nationalities of food.
Of course. Yeah. So now that you did your tours with Canada, you're getting yourself more acclimated, learning different styles of wrestling. Because if I'm correct, on those tours, you're not usually wrestling the same guy every night. Sometimes you're wrestling guys from a little bit of all over with different
wrestled
styles.
guys from the East Coast. I wrestled Canadian guys. Here in the Midwest, there's not too often that I'll come across a guy who's much bigger than me. Yeah, you go up to Canada, Danny likes to bring in guys that are 300 plus pounds.
Of course.
So a lot of times I have to learn that smaller guy style. I get to go jump to the top rope and do a little bit more of that stuff, which, by the way, down here, doesn't realize I can do.
Yeah.
So this is something I keep in my back pocket. It's the ace up the sleeve. So when I do pull it on out, they don't see it coming.
Okay, cool.
Same thing, and it also got me a couple of connections too. I went on down to Florida to Chris Silvio and Matt Siddell's training facility down there.
Good place.
Did some tryout and some training there as well. Just came back from Dallas just a couple of weeks ago. Took another seminar from Matt Siddell, and I had a wonderful match with Madman Fulton.
Yeah, he's also been on TNA Impact. So he's definitely...
he's a monster of a man.
Yeah, he's a giant, that is for sure.
If you ever want to experience getting thrown up in the air 9 feet, there you go.
Go to him. So, you talk about Steel Domain. You're actually now currently the Steel Domain champion.
The Steel Domain Northern States Championship, which used to be the Northern States TV Champion. And I hold that title in high regard. It's been held by Ace Steel. It's been held by CM Punk, former NWA World Champion Adam Pearce. That title is near and dear to my heart right now.
Yeah, because it's sort of like the who's who of Midwest legends that have, put their stamp of their legacy on that title.
Yes.
Themselves, and now you get the chance to put your legacy on that as well.
And I went through one rough program with Craven Knight fighting over that title too. That culminated in a 30-minute Broadway of no rest spots. We bludgeoned each other during this match, and nearly passed out afterwards. So I feel that title is very well deserved. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it, and I plan on putting even more into it.
Now, we're fast forwarding to being here with Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. You got signed last year to begin. Of course, COVID-19 hits, causing literally the whole world to shut down.
Yes.
During the time of COVID-19, how were you preparing your body for the battles that was ahead? I know some guys, they didn't have a gym to go access to. Everything else was shut down. How did someone who's in your peak condition to keep up with your cardio and your strength? What was your exercise program?
Well,
like
if you don't have a gerbil machine to jump on to help you out with your cardio, you still got 2 feet that you can run on. So you go and you run around the blocks, you run down the beach, you put in the miles. I acquired a bicycle so that way I can take that on out. I went and purchased now that we're in mask season, I went and purchased myself an elevation mask. So I've been doing a lot of my training with an elevation mask. Weights are, if you want a nice formalized dumbbell to lift that says 25 pounds on the side, yeah, sure. But hey, you can grab that piece of log over there and that's still heavy. Hey, how about these coffee cans full of cinder blocks, full of concrete? Pick them up. I have a 10-year-old son. He's about 80 pounds. I'll throw him up over my head a little bit. You figure it out. You make things work. On top of it, I also got to give a shout out to DDP Yoga. I had a couple of aches and pains on out there. I got a hold of his program, helped with those small little injuries that were just nagging, and took care of it. Yeah,
he's a miracle worker when it comes to what he does for people who have back conditions or bad knees and necks.
Amazing. If you have any joint pain whatsoever, look into DDP Yoga.
Yeah, I actually do the yoga myself. I had a chronic back pain for like 3 years solid, and my wife, got that program, and she's like, "Just try it. Just Yeah, don't worry about throwing weights around. Just do the yoga, and
Yep.
you'll be surprised you probably pick those weights back up again.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, she's right. So you've been getting yourself, keeping your conditioning going, doing old man, strongman style workouts, which is it's great to see people still do stuff like that. Some of you guys today, they're more worried about, oh, I got to go to a 24-hour fitness gym. You're like, let's pick up that lumber over there and we'll toss it around.
Yeah,
That's-
you find a good firm tree branch and just knock out some pull-ups.
yeah, I mean, that's the way it should be. You was originally supposed to wrestle Marche Rocket for the debut event.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fate itself kind of showed up. And Vic Capri, who was in the main event with Chris Logan, has a torn tricep. He's out for 4 to 6 months. So as a company, we had to figure out what can we give the fans their money's worth to make sure that they go home saying that was a great main event. And the committee came up with the idea of Chris Logan versus Marche Rocket versus Garrisaon Creed. And not just a triple threat match, but it's the Chicagoland heavyweight title on the line.
Now, I don't want to downplay the match that would have been me and Marche Rocket and Chris Logan versus Vic Capri. Those would have been 2 high-profile main event matches any place in the world.
Of course.
Now, Vic Capri out, injury. It's sad. It happens. Yeah, I'm expecting him to be a ball of fire when he's,
I do too. I'm waiting for it.
rested up and ready to come on out. But now to get the opportunity, you bump both me and Marche up into the same ring with Chris Logan, and you're going to put the prestigious Chicagoland Championship Wrestling belt on the line. That just makes it taste a lot sweeter.
Oh, it
A
does.
lot sweeter. And this is what I got to say to both Marche and Chris Logan. Bring your best. I don't want to go into Michigan City on October 3rd, catch you on an off day, win. I don't want to win the Chicagoland Championship Wrestling title. I don't want to be that first amalgamation champion off of a fluke. I want both of you guys to bring your best so we can exclaim to the entire world that I'm that good.
To compete against those two men, you got a striker and Chris Logan. And then you have a guy who's kind of like yourself. He's all around. He can strike, he can high fly, he can mat wrestle, and Marche. How are you preparing yourself for that? Because that's 2 different worlds coming at you at once.
It's just like Iraq. You don't know if the sniper's going to come at you from around the corner on the streets. You don't know if he's going to come up at you from the 6-foot-tall building over there. You don't know if he's going to come back from a building that you just walked by. You don't know if he's going to come crashing into you with a car. You prepare for everything. I've been watching the videos. I've been doing my recon. I've been training myself. And now think about it. Our first show was supposed to be back in May.
Back in May, yeah. April, May.
That's giving us, 5 extra months of training?
Yes.
5 extra months of prep time? That's 5 extra months of prep time that I took advantage of. That I've been doing all these things. I've been taking care of any little injuries. I am healthy. I have nothing wrong with me right now. I'm at the best shape of my life, including when I was overseas doing Spec Ops. I am more than ready for this challenge.
And I feel like this is going to be such an epic match that the fans, October 3rd, folks,
You feel it? It's like electricity, just zapping with
It
your
is.
fingertips.
definitely go on to our website, www.chicagolandchampionshipwrestling.com. Check out the information on there. It's definitely going to be worth your while. And with that match, you got the undercard too. That's amazing right along with it. Outside of Marche and Chris Logan, who else on that Chicagoland roster do you have your eyes on that you want to go and compete against?
Well, I mean, I do want to go, knock heads with Ewok. He just seems like just another, that brawler that you want to run into at a bar. You're trying to sip your whiskey nice and
He's just
peaceful.
a fun-loving, smash-mouth type of guy that you know you're going to have a brawl with.
Yeah, and I'd love to throw fists with him one time just to see how it goes, and then afterwards toast each other to a good battle over a shot of whiskey.
Outside of B-Logs, is there anybody else?
It's such a heavy card already. I mean, I've been more focused on my match and training for my guys. I'm very much looking forward to when Vic Capri comes back. That's a guy that I wanted to tangle with in the ring since I got into this business.
Of course.
Um,
Have you guys actually had a match before against each other, haven't you? If I'm correct?
Yes, we have. We have had one.
Was it Rocket Pro, if I'm correct?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was not? Okay. Well,
it was for Wisconsin Professional Wrestling, and on a last-minute change, a snowstorm happened. Half the roster couldn't make it. I got called in because I only lived 20 minutes from the venue. So I showed up, and they're like, all right, you guys are opening up the show. So me and Vic Capri, we went up, and we tore it up in the curtain jerk.
Two guys were main eventers or opening a show. That's something wild.
I was about a year and a half into the business, and he pushed me to my limit. Now, if he didn't have help ringside, I probably would have pulled out the win. But this game, it's even more complicated than chess sometimes, and you got to know where all the pieces lie.
And that's the best analogy for professional wrestling when people kind of want to know, like, how does someone prepare? It's a chess game. It really is. It's human chess, as Greg Gordon Soley used to proverbially call it on commentary. Is the game of human chess.
That's what it is.
All it takes is one wrong move, one wrong mishap, one wrong mistake, and the match can end.
That it could.
Yeah,
that it could.
Absolutely. No, and to think about that alone, with October 3rd, that main event, it's a battle of three master chess players of the in-ring battle, facing off of each other, trying to see which one could actually knock off that king.
The three of the heaviest hitters, hardest strikers. I don't want to even compare my experience level to them. I'm envious of all the acclimates that these two individuals have had. I'm envious for being in that ring, but at the same time, I am also confident that I am fully capable of walking away with that win.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that championship.
Now, is there, with your tours you're doing outside of Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, where else will fans get the chance to see you compete at?
Right now, with a lot of border issues, my schedule's a little bit in flux. So I'm taking that opportunity to just show up at places. Just a couple weekends ago, I ended up going down to Dallas and showing up at the Dallas Indie Wrestling Expo, where they had a battle royal. Whoever went over in that got a championship opportunity versus Nick Aldis, the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion. That was an opportunity I did not want to pass up. So I went on down there, jumped the rail and jumped into this battle royal to show them, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting for an impact. No, I didn't go over in the battle royal, but they took notice of that and gave me that match with Madman Fulton for the next day. This weekend, tonight even, I will be over in Chicago Heights at Warrior Wrestling, letting them know, hey, the Mercenary is on the hunt. Just all I need is one shot.
Yeah, it's going to be in an outdoor football stadium show.
Yes, I believe it's the best environment currently with the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing and everything that we can provide to still give them the professional wrestling entertainment that the crowd deserves.
Absolutely.
And then October 3rd, we have Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, which you can catch on
Amazon Prime and also here on Comcast Channel 99 and also on some upcoming channels as well too, so they'll be seen all over the United States.
And then we have later on in October, we got GCW doing the Collective. It's going to be 3 days of 13, 14, 15 professional wrestling shows in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
That looks like opportunity for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up.
That's a big opportunity for a lot of folks when they get their chance to put a foot in the door. Absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of established individuals already there. And that weekend, I feel, is going to be a weekend that a lot of other people are going to get their name out there and made. They're going to become famous.
With your style of wrestling, who were your main influences, so your top 5 influences in professional wrestling that developed the Garrison Creed work rate, but also the styles that you combine.
The styles that I combine, I pull in. We'll go over the influences first. I was heavily influenced by Dean Malenko, Bret Hart, Chris Benoit. I mean, hard hitting, technical, and they can move.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I am heavily trained in various different forms of martial arts: hoist, Gracie, Jiu-Jitsu, Army combatives programs, boxing, karate, Hapkido, Judo, Taekwondo. I pull in from all of those types of different styles as well.
Nice.
Combine that with some traditional mat wrestling, watching a lot of UFC, just watching things go, knowing a bit of anatomy, knowing which joints don't go in which directions, or how much pressure to apply to a muscle to make it not feel right, how much pressure is applied to certain pressure points to make a person go to sleep.
So you're pretty much like a walking machine of destruction.
I've had a lot of time to do a lot of studying.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Garrison, thank you for coming on to our show. Fans, October 3rd, Michigan City, Indiana. Come see this man do what he does best. www.chicagolandchampionshipwrestling.com and check out the information. We're going to have a great show. And most of all, we'll see every single one of you at ringside.